All right, today we're in a brand new Prius C, and we're going to be illustrating how to attach the ProClip center mount for this vehicle. All right, there's a few things we want to mention before we get started. First of all, read over the instructions, look over the photos before you begin to process. Next is attach the ProClip onto the vehicle prior to attaching anything onto the faceplate of the mount. And thirdly is this ProClip comes with some double-sided tape. You'll see it here as a blue sheet. Remove the covering from the tape. The residue from the tape doesn't stay on the vehicle if you want to remove the mount later on in the future. With that said, we'll get started. What you look for first on the ProClip mount is a sticker that says ProClipUSA.com. That'll illustrate that that is the top side of the mount. Now on the forward-facing side of the mount, there will be an L-shaped angled edge, and on the lower side of the mount, there will be an L-shaped angled edge. We'll show you where they go in a minute here. First of all, this ProClip comes with a couple of gap openers. You'll need to take the first gap opener. Now there's a framing around the media area, and there's also a bit of a softer, more pliable part of the dash around the vents. Well, there is a seam between the two panels. You just take the gap opener and slide it into that seam, and it widens that gap just a little bit. You'll need that because on the bottom part of the ProClip, now again, this is a two-part mount. There's an attaching part, and then there'll be a faceplate on it. We'll illustrate both of these parts separately. On the lower side of the attaching part to the dash, there's an L-shaped angled edge. If you'll rotate it so you're looking right at the ProClipUSA.com sticker towards you, you'll take that L-shaped angled edge and slide it into the seam next to the gap opener. And then you can rotate the ProClip forward towards the front of the car, and that L-shaped angled edge will actually slide in behind the panel that surrounds the media area here. Once it's in place, you can remove the gap opener and slide it into a seam. There's another panel that there's a little bit of a cubby back here with some information behind it, but there's a seam between the two panels here. You'll slide that gap opener into the seam, and there's a second gap opener because it's a tight seam. Take and slide it into the seam on the other side of the mount, just like that. Now if you'll apply some pressure to the top of the mount, press it forward and downward, and you'll hear it click into place, and that'll be the other angled edge sliding into the seam next to the gap openers. Just like that, you can remove the gap openers, and part one will be installed. All right, part two is attaching the faceplate onto part one of the mount. It comes with a faceplate and two attaching screws, and it's quite simple actually. This faceplate can go on to, there's two pre-drilled holes on part one, and you'll insert the included screws through the pre-drilled holes and tap them into, or tighten them into the other holes. A couple things I want to mention here is this faceplate will go on either up high, and that's my personal preference, or if you want a little bit lower faceplate, you can have it a little bit lower here. Now I'm going to attach it a little bit higher. It might help if you put the screw, one of the first screw into the hole prior to. It'll kind of give you an extra hand to work with. Just line up the holes and start to attach it in. You'll want to just not over tighten it at first because you'll want to be able to line up that top hole, so just snug it into place a little bit so you can adjust it to get the top screw in and line it with the hole. All right, put the second the top screw in. Once they're in place, snug them both up nice and tightly. You'll have a nice solid mounting platform to attach a ProClip device holder onto. Another thing I want to mention real quick is this ProClip will go over the left vent or the right vent. It fits anywhere over the center vent area. We hope this illustration helps. Have a great day.